before it happens, but it surely will come, as the scriptures talk about. Okay? Go ahead and bring up that Genesis, and we're gonna hop back. I'm right back to Genesis 27.
Back in 36.
Yeah, come on, go ahead.
This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 36. And he said, "It's not he rightly named Jacob, for he had supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright."
Still, he pretty much saying he stole it, lying.
Yep.
Go ahead.
"And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me?"
Now he crying to his daddy. He stole this. I can't being a crybaby like he is. You so-called white people are the biggest crybabies on the planet Earth.
That's right.
I'm talking about this a scenario at my job, man. I always bring up stuff like this. I be loading stuff in people's cars. This one dude came up to the door, which he's not supposed to come up to. Man, he was supposed to get out of your damn car. Yeah, I've been waiting for only 15 minutes, and these people have been coming and going and getting stuff really quick, but I've been waiting so long. What's the deal? And I asked him, okay, really politely, so how long you been waiting for again? About 15, 20 minutes. I was like, okay, well, it's a big warehouse. This is the first come, first serve, okay? So some people might come before you and get certain things. That's just how it goes. This is the biggest warehouse on the planet, okay? Now, what did I say to him? Oh yeah, I was like, pretty much what I said to him afterward. I was like, so what did they tell you at the kiosk? Because when they stop at the kiosk, they tell you the time limit that they're gonna wait for. So when I said, what they give you at the kiosk? They said 25 minutes. I'm like, so how long were you waiting for again? 15 minutes. Okay, so it'll be out shortly. Some people call before they come up here, and that's why they get their stuff early. But if you like, I can check on your stuff for you. Had to just pretty much take a shit on him really quick for just being proud, you know, crying. As soon as I asked him that, he was red as hell too. I'm talking about, you know them Edomites that's just red in a hole. Yeah. I'm talking about you could see the blood through his skin. He got mad, smacked his lips, and walked off. I'm like, you don't want me to check on your stuff, you good? He ignored the hell out of me. So I take a load out afterward, and I just see him standing there with his hand on his hips, and I yelled across the thing, hey man, I can check on your order if you like. He straight turned his head the other way. Oh man, you dang crybaby, man. My bad about the story. It's just, come on, man. These are the biggest crybabies on the planet. I had to bring out an example. They're the biggest crybabies. They'll cry about Colin Kaepernick, cry about Gabby Douglas, cry about all this stuff, but as soon as we bring up the atrocities that you've committed over this place, it's a get over it. Get your crybaby ass on somewhere, man. Go ahead, brother.
This is verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren I have given to him for servants.
So now Isaac's getting ready to give him his blessing, okay? Since we had stolen, according to this devil, since we had stolen, according to this liar, his birthright, Isaac's giving him something. By the way, not saying we stole it because we did. For you simpletons out there, when I went like this, that means we didn't steal it. Go ahead, talk.
And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Go ahead.
Verse 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father?
I'm talking about he had sought his birthright, he had sought his blessing in tears. Being a crybaby. I need to get something, I need something now. Being a crybaby, man, being a little bitch. Excuse my language. But that's what they are, being cowards. Biggest cowards on the planet.
That's right.
You tell them the stuff they've done, and they tell you it's reverse racism, and they tell you to get over it, man. Go ahead, bro.
Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Now he's demanding a blessing. Just like how they do it. Give me it now. Go ahead.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Somebody pull up fatness on Blue Letter Bible, Baba Kashar. It says, thy dwelling shall be thy fatness of the earth. And what else? In the dew of what?
And the dew of heaven.
And the dew of heaven.
From above.
From above. So not only is your blessing the fatness of the earth, but also the dew of heaven from above. The stars, the atmosphere. Okay? And y'all brothers got it? Go ahead, bring it out. Hey, y'all, that's cool.
This is fatness.
It should be Mashmana, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Fatness, fat piece, fertile place.
A fertile place, a rich place, a wealthy place. I'm talking about the world was made for our sakes, but he's ruling this place right now. Okay, so he's showing up, has the fatness of the earth. You see them with the best cars. You see them with the best houses. You see them financially stable, credit scores out. Now, you'll see Jakes with that too, but I'm talking about the majority here. I'm talking about big businesses, corporations. You can look up these businesses everywhere. I bet you it ain't Jakes that own these businesses over here, man. You got the Geico, actually that's actually Addison, but you just got a bunch of buildings over here. I believe it's on what, Commerce Bank up here, something like that. Ain't they call it Commerce Bank? Like the big building over here? Yeah, Co-America Bank. I bet you don't see no Jakes up in there sitting behind that big black chair, man. The fatness of the earth. Matter of fact, can you pan around? The water. These are the so-called white man's mountains now. These are his modern day mountains, the fatness of the earth. Not only Dallas, but these are everywhere.
That's right.
He goes places, kills and destroys and builds. Uses his servants to do it. South Africa, look what he did to the Etruscans. Look, U.S. embassies, let's go back in history, what he did when he took Rome and Greece. He took that from people, man. The Etruscans lived there and dwelt there. And he killed them off, sent them somewhere, and then ruled it and said it was his. So this is the fatness of the earth we're talking about. And how did he do it? And hold up, before that, because it should be a little more, it should say like rich, right?
Yeah, it says richly prepared food.
Yeah, richly prepared food. Man, come on, this is about food. This is carnality, bro.
If you go even further down on Strong's definition, it says a rich dish, a fertile field, a robust man.
A robust man, a rich man. Like when you go to Hebrews, the 5th chapter, it talks about the rich man. And it talks about his downfall. It talks about his laborers crying out to the Lord. Okay? All these scriptures link up. Once you get these pieces of the puzzle and keep putting them together, it makes more and more sense. And it shows you who this devil actually is. It's not a man that lives in the core of the earth with a trident in his hand, snickering and laughing and stuff. You know, it's not a man that came out of the Astros and fell to the dang earth. That's not how it works. No, this is an actual man, like Isaiah the 14th chapter talks about. Is this the man that did breaketh nations, shaketh the nations? Okay. Is there more than that, Yaquab? It should be. Or that should be it. It's cool. We brought it. Well, that's enough. That's enough on that one. The water. Go ahead. Go ahead. The water.
And with fatness, you think about it. It's a law. I think it's a law that says we should trim the fat of our meat, and not eat our meat with all the fat on it. You know, that's carnal for a man to want all the fat on his meat. A spiritual man is going to trim the fat.
That's right.
So when we get the kingdom, we're going to trim the fat, and we're going to live luxuriously and not overdoing it. And with a righteous balance.
That's right, brother.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, when you eat fat, that's like barbaric. You know, you're not supposed to do stuff like that. It don't taste good anyway. You know, but yeah, the water for that point, brother. Go ahead, Yaquab.
This is fatness, stout, vigorous, fertile spots or places.
Fertile spots or places. You're all over the place. I'm talking about, look at downtown Dallas, the businesses that this man owns. Look at their neighborhoods. I mean, they don't have the McDonald's in their neighborhoods. They don't have the Wendy's, the Burger Kings. They don't have these fast food restaurants that'll kill people. That's only in Jake's neighborhoods. They have the Whole Foods in their neighborhoods. They have the smoothie stores in their neighborhoods. You know, this goes into their robustness. All right, they have the fatness of the earth. They'll give you the crumbs, and they'll eat all the food, like Lazarus and the rich man. Okay, that's it on that, Yaquab, the water. Let's go back to read that verse one more time.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven.
Thy dwelling, you shall have the riches of the earth. You're gonna rule the world, and you're gonna rule parts of space. Space stations, satellites. I mean, they watching what you do everywhere. And a lot of that can even go to the internet system. You know, like they have a panoptic system, which I believe panoptic means all seeing, because when you go to that word pan, it means all, and optic meaning seeing, and they can actually detect you by your phone, by cameras, all of that. Like when you go to the book 1984, Big Brother's watching. You know, he has the dew of heaven in his possession. Okay, he knows you everywhere you can go. He can spot you anywhere. If you're on a run, he'll just use any camera, even your phone, just to find you. And a lot of these Jakes had that FaceTime and they do these selfies and stuff, not knowing that the more selfies you take, the easier for this devil is to track you wherever you go. Selfie sticks, all this BS. It was one of the brothers from New York that did a beautiful sit down going into it, which talked about how the camera captures the face of somebody. It's like 97.5% accurate, and that's like 0.10 away from the actual human eye. So they can look at you actually in a crowd. It's about the dew of heaven, man. He has all of it. Face recognition.
If I can say this too, like, because like
I guess like prior to like the late 90s, man, everything was analog technology as far as like telecommunications and things like that. But then they switched from analog to digital. And then, you know, everything starts with military purposes. All like the modern technology, it's all made for the military use. So the fact that they went to digital to be able to pinpoint things, geographical points, latitude and longitude, it was really to guide the missiles to their specific targets. But then also, once they figure out a way to profit off of those, that same technology, that's why they let the little peons get a cell phone with FaceTime. Allow you to be able to have Bluetooth. Even now, play that stupid ass game Pokemon Go.
Oh man.
You know, but the point is, like the brother's making a beautiful point, man. Everything that the so-called white man he was doing, starting from like the late 90s up to this point now, is to basically further his position and getting his new world order kicked off, man. To where he can just have his eye on you at all times, man. You know, because basically it tells you, and I think, was it Isaiah 47? It says basically he believes that he's the most high. I'm roughly paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, it's a lot for that. And that's a beautiful point you brought out. I mean, this devil's so crafty, he puts it in movies and all of that. Like the movie Eagle Eye, for example, was pretty much a movie made after the book 1984, where it goes to Big Brother's Watching. Y'all remember that movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf? It would even show you how he could look at you everywhere you go, and it was a system that they had where it was actually an artificial intelligence system that could speak, that could pull out missiles, do all of that stuff. Even like on Terminator where you have Skynet. And it's ironic that it's called Eagle Eye. You know, of course they use the term Eagle Eye where you can scope something out from the sky or from heaven, like we read about in there, but also it goes into an eagle being a swift animal. And like when you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it talks about us going to a land that's, like swift as an eagle flies, you know? So again, all these scriptures link up with each other, okay? Go ahead, brother. You had a point you wanted to make?
I was just saying that the eagle is a top predator because it flies the highest.
That's right, it flies the highest and it gets all the prey that flies beneath it. God, it's an alpha bird. Exactly, brother. Exactly.
And of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live.
And by the sword shalt thou live. By the sword shalt thou live. Who are the ones that's building nuclear missiles? It ain't none of us. And y'all have an Edomite somewhere. I didn't do it either. Nah, your people did it, man. It ain't. You don't see none of them people in that laboratory. That's us. That come up with the blueprints of how they gonna build the missiles. No, man. You live by the sword. You took over lands by the sword. You took over this land by the sword. You took over Etrusca by the sword. You took over South Africa by the sword. You taking over Syria by the sword. You took over Libya by the sword. Okay? You taking over everything with the sword. And let's even bring it to another scale. I mentioned earlier how they put McDonald's in your neighborhood. They put Burger Kings, all this in your neighborhoods. When you go into the foods that they serve there, this stuff kills you. Goes to him being a hunter. He's doing this trying to kill you. That's another way of living by the sword. There's numerous examples. Population control, trying to control the population. Georgia Guidestone, trying to reduce the population to 500 million. Is that not living by the sword?
Come on, brother.
Is that not hunting? You can't even look on TV or the media and you can't not see Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans pushing out a homosexual vibe. The reason why I brought that up, because when you push that vibe on the people get to acting like that. How you gonna progenerate? What's the word?
Progenerate.
Progenerate. Okay. How you gonna have babies when everybody's gay? That's another way of him ruling by the sword. Death. Death is in the palm of his hands. He is a harbinger of death to the fullest. He is a harbinger. He's a harbinger of death. But since you live like this, you gonna die like that. Go ahead, brother.
And thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when.
Read the sword part one more time. My bad.
Okay, come.
My bad.
Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. So the sword thou shalt live. So we know who these scriptures are talking about.
God,
we know how to navigate through these scriptures, man.
That's right. That's right.
By the sword shalt thou live. We know the ones who's lived through the sword with the sword. These are the same people who built an atom bomb, fat man and little boy, and sent them over to a land that didn't have no problems with you just to test a missile and bombed and killed millions of people for no reason.
That's right.
It's still parts of that land that's actually just now growing back from the microwave radiation that was there. Okay? You had babies coming out the womb with flat heads, some of them one arm, you know, just deformed. Okay? This is a sick being that lives on the planet Earth that rules over us. You Edomites are sick people, man. Go ahead, brother. Con. Oh, you got it? Okay.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Man, read that again. I'm sorry. Read that one more time, bro.
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
It was a horse that was red. So when you go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, Genesis, I believe it starts at 26, where it goes to Jacob and Esau being born, to 25.
25.
25. Con. Yeah, when he was born, it talks about him being red and hairy. Okay? So this red horse is going into Esau, because this red horse also goes into the war structure, or the teeth that we talked about in Psalm 58. Okay? Which is his power. All right? Go ahead.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
And that they should kill one another with the sword, right? With the sword. Before you read, let's go back to Genesis. Well, you still holding Genesis, right? Go read that part one more time about his blessing, and then jump to Revelation 13.
Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live.
Can you read that part one more time? The last part, just for the sword.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
And there was given unto him a great sword. Goes into this man's blessing, man. That's a beautiful precept. Water for that. Can you read Revelation 13 and 9? So since you live this way, since you've lived carnally, since you've lived killing people, built off death and destruction, that